Hello and welcome to LeisureCast. My name is Brian Krogsgaard. I'm here with a special guest today. We're getting back to trying to do more interviews. I've got Mike from the Rainbow Wallet, rainbow.me, Mike Demarais. Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's great to
Happy
have
to
you.
be here.
Yeah, it's great to
Long
have
time
you on.
fan.
I appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you told me you listen to the show. I'm excited to hear that. Um, you know, it's been a wild ride for everybody in crypto this last I don't know, what would you say, like 8 months or so? I feel like everybody started taking the bull market really seriously.
It's
Uh,
true.
but
It's been fun. A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of cool experiments happening. It's an exciting time, definitely.
yeah. So my journey with, I guess I would say, digging into the Ethereum ecosystem in particular, um, doing more like self custodying while I'm trading, the rise of the DEX. I followed the
Isn't it
mass.
great?
Yeah, I followed the masses. I followed the volume uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the summer of 2020, and participated in some of the um, DeFi summer activities.
Mm-hmm.
And what really drew me to that was the fact that you could have liquid trading. And, thankfully we have our sponsor here, Matcha, who helps make that possible. You can go and drop whatever, $10,000 on something and get relatively minimal slippage, which was not always common on a DEX. So I feel like it's really brought on like a new round of excitement about non-custodial trading, getting off centralized exchanges. We've seen Uniswap explode. All that comes together and makes a wallet like your product at rainbow.me even more relevant than it was before. So we're going to get into the origin story and stuff, but start by saying, how much did y'all's world get rocked as DeFi exploded last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty crazy. Like every day, our user numbers, reach all-time highs. It's been really fun to watch people kind of discover Rainbow because we've been pretty stealthy in a way. Like we haven't done any marketing. We've just been really focused on building the best product, and all of our growth has just come organically, like word of mouth, recommendations to friends, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so no
Um,
marketing, but I found it organically because I was like,
yeah,
I'm using MetaMask and stuff in a desktop, and I did want to have some ability to do more stuff in a mobile wallet. And my friend, who was like collecting all these NFTs and buying some ENS domains, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just storing everything on Rainbow Wallet." I was like, "What the heck is
yeah.
Rainbow Wallet?"
Yeah, we have a lot of fans who are really into NFTs. I mean, one of the ways that Rainbow stands out is like from the beginning, we've treated NFTs like as a first class citizen
Yeah.
of the wallet experience. A lot of other products kind of like segment them off to the side or really kind of treat them as an afterthought. And we felt that wasn't right. So yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see Rainbow kind of take over the NFT space. It's
So
pretty sweet.
how did you get to that point to where when DeFi kicked off the way, like, so strongly, y'all were prepared with a very
Yeah,
clean UI, which is just so really so rare in crypto. So when you experience
yeah.
something that good, it's a great first impression. So I'm sure that's been great. A huge part of maintaining the user base as people start to try the product.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess like in a lot of ways, yeah, we've kind of been, let me think. We've been placing bets for a long time, and they really started to pay off last year. Rainbow was the first wallet to like natively integrate Uniswap. I forget the exact date, but it was like in
And
2019.
I was about to say, Uniswap launched, was it like late 2018 or something like
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Yeah, like right around DevCon
Yeah. I remember
in
Laura
2018.
Shin interviewing Hayden from
Yeah.
Uniswap, and I was like, I don't know anything about this. It sounds
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like it's so nuts because at the time Uniswap's success was like not obvious to people, right?
Right.
Like the value prop was kind of like weird. People didn't understand it. But to us, it was like a really clear bet to make. Basically, the idea that this permissionless DEX that no one can turn off and has permissionless listing, that clicked with us. That was like, it was like obvious that basically, you know, that was going to succeed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess like, how did we kind of set ourselves up for success? And the answer was by betting on like what we thought were the clear winners in the technology, right? So it was like focusing exclusively on Ethereum, which again was not an obvious bet to make back in the day, right? Like there's all of these distractions happening all the time in crypto. You can get, you know, you can get distracted chasing all of these new things all the time. But we decided to focus just on Ethereum, really kind of like try to nail the core experience of what a wallet should be, and kind of, you know, like the core trading experience with Uniswap. And I think that that's really what set us up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
And has it always been like mobile first, or is there ever
Yeah.
significant attempts at doing desktop based stuff?
For Rainbow?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've always been mobile first. We do like aspire and have plans for desktop products. It's actually pretty cool. One of our users actually did port our app to desktop already.
Nice.
But yeah, like
Is
we
it
haven't
like an
really
Electrum
productized
wrapper
that.
type of thing?
No, so actually with the new Apple M1 chips, I don't know if you've seen those,
Yeah.
the new laptops
Brand
with
new.
the M1 chip, you can basically compile any iOS app into becoming a desktop app.
Wow.
So basically like, yeah, the desktop product kind of comes for free. But yeah, I mean, we've always felt from the beginning that mobile is the most interesting and important platform to develop products for. I think that, it's kind of cliche at this point, but like, the success of Robinhood really just demonstrates uh, the consumers, like consumers are cool with doing finance on mobile. Like that's everyone has a phone. People check prices all day from their phone. And it always felt weird to us that people exclusively interacted with DeFi from desktops, like with MetaMask. That felt really weird to us. So we wanted to basically, create a mobile experience that could compete with the desktop experience. So for example, like, one of the other early bets that Rainbow made was that Wallet Connect was the answer. So from the beginning, Rainbow has been like designed and built around Wallet Connect as kind of a core experience. And we've, contributed a lot of code to the Wallet Connect project. And it's been insane to see Wallet Connect essentially take over as the standard
Can you
interop.
explain the way Wallet Connect fits into this whole chain of operations for me?
Yeah. Yeah. So like traditionally when you go to like any DApp, like, whether it's, MakerDAO or Uniswap, whatever, you'll see a big button and it's like connect to MetaMask,
Yeah.
right? And that was, a primary reason why a lot of people do this stuff from desktop is because like in the past dApps were only configured to work with MetaMask. But basically what Wallet Connect is a simple bridge between dApps and any wallet. So the way it works is basically it's a standard interface or like a standard protocol for basically generically connecting any interface to any wallet. So basically in the background, there's a bridge server that sets up encrypted tunnels between the app and the wallet. It can't control anything at all. It just simply passes messages back and forth between the two clients, like the dApp and the wallet. So yeah, basically what Wallet Connect lets you do is essentially like so it lets you use any wallet you want with any dApp you want.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of
So
sense. So they don't have to have custom support for every
correct.
single wallet and whatever its quirks
Yep.
are.
It's like one integration. Yeah, it's honestly it's fantastic for both dApp devs and for wallet devs.
Yeah.
It's
I
just a great
honestly,
solution.
I don't, when I'm like, okay, so using the Rainbow wallet, and I've been looking around for, I have a dongle somewhere. I can plug this in, pull it on the
Yeah,
screen for anyone on YouTube. I can't find it. My kids have been in here. They
it's
probably,
cool.
probably put it somewhere. But nevertheless, you have your Rainbow wallet. You open it up. This is a doxed account, so it's no big deal.
Damn.
And it's like, there's my domains that I've bought, and here's my Ethereum stuff. So it's got like a very clean, simple interface. Doesn't focus perfectly on that, but people can download it themselves, and you can see
Looks great.
it's like very very comfortable for a normal user. And I totally agree with you what you said about that mobile first component. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but any platform I have the capacity to trade on mobile, I almost always choose to trade that way.
Me too. Like before I even started Rainbow, I was, yeah, exactly.
Like I use my mobile apps when I connect to legacy accounts and often what I find is the performance is better. So, you get these big desktop lags and stuff on those clunky apps, and I always tend to prefer mobile. So I think I agree with you on that. The interface all makes sense, totally connects. So then you get into this concept, and this is where everybody critiques self-custody and mobile interfaces. They're like, people don't get it. They don't understand that ability to, that it's literally on their phone, or, that they own it. So how are y'all managing the balance between the user interface and the self-custody opportunity? Because you have two options, right? Like you can have custodied keys or self-custodied keys. So how are y'all balancing all that?
Yeah. So Rainbow does not have any custodial options, actually.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have remind me how I did the setup. Then do I have self custody, or is it custodied?
Yeah, no, it's all self-custodied.
Okay. So I do have all my own stuff.
Offer. Yes.
I knew I took that route, but I thought there was a way to select.
There is. So basically, what you're thinking of is we do offer iCloud backup. So basically, the way that works is we offer. We think that this is So there, in general wallets, there's hosted solutions and self-custodied solutions. We think that self-custody solutions are the better option all around.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're right. Like it presents this problem for people. Like all of a sudden, if they lose access to their keys,
terrified.
It's terrifying, right? So we think that so the solution we went with is basically offering iCloud backup, which what that essentially does is it creates a file on your iCloud drive that stores your private key encrypted with a password of your choice.
Yeah.
So essentially
they have, I remember that. So iCloud, they have two-factor authentication through another device, a secondary Apple device, and they have your unique password, and it's encrypted end to end on. So even though that's I guess that's not
correct.
Like, it's
Rainbow can't unencrypt it, right? Like
right.
it's,
it's fully your control, even though you're uploading it to the cloud.
Yes. So we think that is a sufficient solution for most regular people out there. But I'm still, we're very interested in a lot of the other innovations happening in the space. For example, like social recovery systems that are kind of, one of the benefits of using a smart contract wallet. That's something that we're going to be exploring this year is kind of adopting a smart contract wallet architecture.
That's really cool. So
so things like Gnosis Safe or Argent are good examples of smart contract wallets.
Once you get to, I have not gotten to the point, I'll be honest, this is like where I hesitate. Mm-hmm. If I'm putting this is a donation wallet. So if people that like the show, they can go to ledgercast.eth and it's, it populates for them. So people donate a few bucks or whatever. I'm a little scared if it's like, okay, here's whatever, your portfolio of your investments or your retirement, whatever you consider, serious money. When I start thinking of that on my phone versus accessing via my phone, I get a little more nervous. How are y'all trying to bridge that level of comfort and say, this device is just as safe as a hardware wallet and a browser extension and your desktop?
Yeah. So I definitely think that your concern is warranted. Ways that we're approaching it. So one is, first of all, hardware wallets are great. And basically if you have your retirement fund or a significant amount of money,
enough money,
hardware wallets are always the best solution, always, hands down. Now, even with a hardware wallet though, you can actually copy and paste your public address into Rainbow and essentially use Rainbow as a portfolio tracker. So
Wow.
Rainbow supports kind of like a watch only mode. Yeah. So if you just go like, import a wallet that already exists, and if you simply type in an address or an ENS handle, you can just like watch the wallet from there.
Okay, that's super cool. I didn't
But
realize that.
yeah, but no, I think that really adopting a smart contract wallet architecture is really the solution to that problem. So for example, the Gnosis Safe architecture is, trusted with billions of dollars of capital. That uses like a multi-sig configuration. And really, I think that architecture is necessary for storing like significant amounts of money. Rainbow right now, what we're really focused on is trying to build a product that that consumers vibe with, that like the retail audience vibes with, in a lot of ways. One of my co-founders and I, we both have little brothers, and we've always tried to build the product in a way that kind of would vibe with our little brothers, like that they would click with this.
Yeah.
And like the amount of capital that they're putting into this is not hundreds of thousands of dollars, et cetera, right?
Right.
So basically, the way to think about it is you should trust Rainbow as much as you trust any other software wallet. So that means like MetaMask, Coinbase wallet, Trust wallet, et
But
cetera.
not the same as an offline solution.
Correct.
Like a hardware wallet.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We do plan on supporting hardware, like integrating with hardware wallets. So like, but that's going to come with our desktop product.
Yeah. So I said my friend who was collecting NFTs was the first person to tell me, but actually the first time I saw Rainbow was a retweet, I think, from Matcha, who they showed someone fully trading between Matcha and the Rainbow wallet on mobile, and that like blew my mind because I know the process.
That's Wallet Connect.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's like it toggles you directly between a website or a DApp and the app, and it's very seamless. And when I tried this myself, I was like, man, this just like pops you over to the other app, confirms, sends you right back, and tells you, hey, you're done. And it's so clean and seamless that I was really amazed by that, how good it is.
We've never liked DApp browsers, right? So like, up until Wallet Connect, the user experience on mobile was pretty much all around DApp browsers, right? So like Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet, they have like a browser inside their app.
Yeah.
But those browsers always sucked. Like they were
it's not your browser. Like all the reasons you like, have a certain browser, if you're whatever you're using.
Like, you couldn't manage multiple tabs. Like there's always weird navigation issues. And also they kind of like Apple, has like really, bipolar attitudes towards DApp browsers in general. It's kind of problematic sometimes for Apple. So Wallet Connect really kind of like opens up the doors, right? So basically, you can interact with literally any DApp that supports Wallet Connect directly in mobile Safari or Chrome or whatever your favorite browser is. And it just like links to Rainbow.
Yeah, I love that. There's a couple of things that I run into. One is there a way to, let's say I do want to treat it as if it's my main thing. Is there a concept where you have like maybe a YubiKey or some kind of external secondary authentication so that you can have essentially prevent this fear of like SIM swapping, right? Like you have to have something. That's essentially what the hardware wallet, the point is anyway, right? This external confirmation away from your browser or away from your device. Is there that kind of concept where y'all could have like
so SIM swapping is only a concern. Yes. So that's something that we're interested in. So the most interesting device, I guess, is that would solve that problem is actually called the status key card. Have you heard of that? It's pretty cool.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so it's a completely open source, both hardware and software implementation. It's made by the Status team, which is like, you might remember them from like 2017. They had a big ICO. It's like their URL, status.im. Yeah,
I remember that.
So the status key card is pretty cool because it's essentially it comes in a form factor like a credit card, and it uses NFC. So basically, you would be able to just tap it up against your phone, and you could use that as the second factor. That's something that we can easily integrate. We just haven't prioritized yet, but we will be actually doing that this year for sure.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That would be,
Yeah.
that's the type of thing that would give me comfort to say like, okay, maybe I'm not going to put everything there,
Yeah.
but you know, there are times where you're mobile and you like crypto markets are 24/7 and I see a ENS domain that came up, that expired and I want to buy it, or I see an NFT.
Man, I love it that you're in this world now.
Yeah, so like I see an NFT that released and I'm like, I got to have that, but I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm nowhere close to my desktop. That's the beauty of working on mobile. So like that, you know, if you want to put a little bit of money on there, like some kind of bridge, it would give me a little more comfort. I feel comfortable enough.
No,
like it's my device, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, for anyone interested, I mean, all of the Rainbow code is open source. Actually, just today, some project basically forked us entirely, and it's like running with, you know, we just got sushi'd basically. But yeah, you can, you know, view the source code entirely. But yeah, I totally agree that that second factors would be huge. But yeah.
So that gets me into like how do you transition from Rainbow is a cool crypto wallet to Rainbow or others are part of this solution to kind of steal back, you know, the transactions and, you know, P2P transfers from the Venmos and the PayPals of the world?
Mm-hmm.
The obvious problem that we run into in the Ethereum landscape is even if the interface is great, it's a $15 fee or something to make these transactions these days, which is obviously untenable. So is there a layer 2 future for Rainbow to make
Definitely,
like whether it's Rainbow to Rainbow or anybody on a particular layer 2? How's y'all's vision of that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we've been really excited about Optimism and have been, you know, very anxiously awaiting.
Is that the one that Synthetics just adopted?
Yeah. So the most interesting thing about Optimism, if you or your audience don't know this, is that it essentially maintains all of the composability of that we see on Ethereum layer 1. So essentially what that means is you can deploy multiple contracts onto Optimism, and they can talk to each other, and you can essentially like compose things the same way that you would on Ethereum layer 1. So most other layer 2 systems though don't have that ability. They kind of like, you know, they might have like really high transaction throughput, but they only let you do something really simple like token transfers back and forth. You can't do like complex, you know, money Legos type stuff.
Yeah, I've recently been playing with XDAI, and the way that operates is it's very similar to if you were to switch to say BSC or something else on the Ethereum virtual machine. So you just put everything in, connect to, you know, everything. What do they call that URL? Wow.
The RPC endpoint?
Yeah, the RPCM, whatever it's called. Plug all that in. It's like, it looks just like you're on Ethereum, but it's not.
Yeah.
But then you have to bridge absolutely everything. And I don't really know what all I can do. And it's a little complex.
So it's a little the whole layer 2 scene is a little fragmented right now. I think that over the coming months, we'll see a lot of consolidation. I think that Optimism right now is kind of the, like, you know, the leader as far as like what people are expecting to kind of everyone to kind of consolidate to. But yeah, I mean, XDAI is cool, and there's a lot of interesting projects happening on XDAI right now. It's actually where Rainbow is going to be supporting XDAI really soon because it's really easy to add that support.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, we kind of expect layer 2 this year to kind of like blow everyone's minds. I don't think that people are ready, or like, you know, they don't even understand kind of like what is in the pipeline. But yeah, I mean, we totally agree. Like right now, like the transaction fees are kind of, you know, a little bit limiting for people with small amounts of capital.
Yeah, especially if you're like, you know, I talked about the ENS domains. I can even imagine like if I want to do that, it would be cool if I at least had the opportunity to say, this whole app is just on layer 2, right? And that way when it says it's $5 to register for the year, it's not $5
Mm-hmm.
plus
Plus like 20, yeah.
$25.
Yeah. No, listen, it's, the space is moving so fast, right?
Right.
Like, even 6 months ago, fees were not this high. Like, it's because of the success of all of these platforms that the fees are so high, right? Like,
Yeah.
the fees are high because people want to use
Yeah. The network
this stuff.
effects of Ethereum are obviously winning, and therefore there's
Yes.
this bottleneck on the network itself.
Yes.
But that doesn't prevent the fact that it's the dominant
Yes.
platform, and people's bets are being made there.
Yeah, some of the cool stuff about layer twos as well is that they, like with Optimism, for example, your address, like your Ethereum address, is the same across both layer one and layer two.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
like,
nice.
yeah. So like, for example, one of the things we're waiting for is a fiat on ramp solution that offers the ability to essentially on ramp someone directly into L2. So like, it would be amazing to have L2 be the default experience in Rainbow, but we're kind of like waiting for a solid AMM like Uniswap to be on layer two. And also we're waiting for that fiat on ramp before kind of making it the default experience.
So if I'm trying, Rainbow or
Yeah.
Ethereum on a mobile wallet today, I'm mostly thinking of it as, hey, here's my transactions, or in this case, in y'all's case, I want to look at my NFTs or my domains or something non-fungible or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm limited to. How do I need to be broadening my horizons in terms of how I'll use a wallet in the future? And what all is included in a wallet? Is it a directory?
Yeah.
Is it a shopping marketplace, or what is the future that you envision for a wallet?
Yeah, good question. So we're actually working on one of the biggest, actually the biggest update to Rainbow that we've ever made. And it's called the Discover screen. So there we're going to be basically laying out all of the best opportunities in DeFi, whatever those happen to be. So right now we're really focused on making the best experience, like for discovering Uniswap pools to add liquidity to, and like laying those out by the annualized, fees, the annualized return via the fees. We're going to be laying out Yearn vaults as well. So a couple of things. Like, one, the space moves so quickly that you kind of want to see what's changed, like since last time you looked, right? So I think that wallets will kind of be about discovery and kind of like keeping tabs on new trends. So we have like, trending coin section. That's a very popular feature on CoinGecko, for example. People often look at what coins are trending. We're also making shareable lists. So essentially, like, you can take tokens and like create little lists out of them, right? These are what, you can categorize them yourself into little categories, and then you can like share those with your friends. And then additionally, something that I'm really interested in, and we're going to be adding to Rainbow, is the concept of like live chats, almost like a troll box. So we're going to have like like a 24/7 live chat feed in the app. So yeah, I mean, I think that because of the like 24/7 nature of crypto, I think that like the ideal mobile experience kind of taps into that. And is like, is trying to make it more live.
Do you imagine a world where there's kind of this ability to transition? So I'm thinking, I log into my banking app and I might have a savings account, a personal account, even a business account. Do you envision where people can essentially open Rainbow and manage between their wallets? I know you have multi-wallet now, but also to the point where it feels like it's just as seamless as it is, or as normal as it is when I rotate between banks. So like, there's not that same fear of transitioning funds from one wallet to another, even though I own both of them. You go do it, you copy your address over, and you're like, crap, did I copy the wrong address? I mean, a week ago, I accidentally sent $1,000 to the wrong address,
Oh no.
Fortunately, it ended up being my co-host, Josh. I
Nice.
sent it to his address.
Yeah.
Granted, it was an exchange, and now there's this support ticket trying to get a token off
Oh
of,
man.
all that mess. But that's what you want to avoid, right? You want it to be as
Yeah.
seamless as like, move funds from personal account to savings account or something like that.
Yes.
Is
No,
that,
honestly,
are y'all looking to
that's a
ease
great
that
advice.
nomenclature?
Yeah, that's honestly a great idea. So like something that is uh that we haven't, I guess, made enough content around. Like there's so many like hidden feature, or like, they're not really hidden, but there's so many like small experiences in Rainbow that we don't highlight enough, and not enough people know about them. But we do have this concept of a contacts list in the app. So basically, if you go into the send flow and you type in an address, you can add it as a contact. So basically, like you can see here, like here's some contacts that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And one, honestly, I'm uh, what you were just suggesting about kind of like,
Yeah, like
making
send
it
50
easy to,
bucks to mom.
yeah, but also like we've talked about it internally, and after this conversation I'm going to bring it back up to the team. But the idea of putting your own, like the other wallets that you have, as contacts in that flow, right? So
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
really easy to just move
Go
money
between.
between the wallets. Yeah.
Yeah, and that also makes sense to me I got excited about the ENS domains because
Yeah.
how it's ridiculous to think, this 50 character thing. I come from the web space. I'm a web developer, and I'm
Yeah.
like, we don't remember IP addresses, like
Yeah.
of course not.
No, ENS, they're freaking awesome. Yeah. And I don't even, how deep have you gone? Have you like, you can add all these like metadata attributes to it, right? Like you can
Yeah,
add
I
like
haven't
there's
added any
fields.
metadata to mine. One of my
Yeah.
friends, I don't know if you ever listen to Coin Talk, but Aaron Lammer,
Yeah.
he got into this stuff pretty deep, and so he's even
Nice.
looking at like how does your ENS domain resolve in a browser and
Yep.
automatically go to like the
Yep.
.link, and it's a static site. And I think that's cool because I really think for the first time it makes sense. Ethereum and a ENS domain can be this identity where it's like, here's a public wallet for one thing, for like sending money with your friends. And then here's other information that you might store there. Like, and maybe some of that's
Mm-hmm.
encrypted. What I'd love to see is like privacy wrappers, for instance. So if I have my ledgercast.eth, like someone can go to that, tip me. Well, what if I want to like privately send that $100
Yeah.
and like tornado cash it or whatever you're supposed to do to hide
Yeah.
it so that like the whole world doesn't see where I transition that money. Like I
Yeah.
can
That's kind of an
imagine so
open
many
problem.
things.
Yeah.
So, but I love
No,
the
I
idea of
think
this
that
identity on a wallet. It starts to make a lot of
it's
sense when you interact
super
on mobile.
exciting. Super exciting. We're going to be adding a lot of the kind of more in the like nitty gritty uh, uh, support for kind of the nitty gritty like customizations you can do with your ENS handle directly into Rainbow, right? So like we can we're gonna have interfaces for resolving the ENS domains, like choosing where it resolves to, adding all of that metadata directly in the app, which is pretty sweet. As far as what you're saying about privacy, that's
Yeah, I
kind
know
of
it's
an
a whole
open
different.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to get into that. I mean, one thing we're worried about is kind of like the regulatory concerns around that. I'm not exactly sure. We haven't
Yeah,
actually talked to
I know
lawyers
it's
about that.
complex, but like it's got to be a part
It
of.
should be possible.
Yeah, it's got to end
Yeah,
up. It's got to end up being a part of what makes this whole ecosystem work, because there's no expectation with anything else. It's like when you get paid in Venmo, the whole
right,
world doesn't see the balance of your actual bank
right.
account when you transition it from Venmo to your bank account. And these fundamentals of financial privacy have to be carried over to crypto
Yeah.
without everyone freaking out about, AML and whatever else.
In the meantime, though, I think that there's something, one of the things we're kind of is this idea of actually embracing the publicness of the Ethereum blockchain, right? So, for example, like I know my little brother's address, and it's really addicting to watch his wallet.
Yeah.
So if you have, and I have other close friends, right, who are like my peers, and we're kind of, open about money, right? Like it's okay that I know how much money he has in crypto and that kind of stuff, right? It's really addictive to watch your friends kind of,
How they trade, what they're
play in
farming.
this world.
Yeah.
it's really fun. It's really addicting.
Yeah.
So we're kind of thinking about how to embrace that, and that's going to be a big part of a lot of our social.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense in the meantime. And honestly, even the
Yeah,
traditional apps embrace that to some degree. Like, it's weird,
yeah,
but it's also kind of cute. You know, you see like someone went
yeah,
to lunch with your buddy because you see like the sushi emoji on their Venmo
yeah,
transaction or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think that's the right way to approach it until, and you know, for now, and as an element of it. But at some point, the privacy stuff does have to, you would think, surely get
definitely.
resolved
Yeah, I'm
or
really excited about Tornado Cash. I really hope that they keep getting better and better. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, one of the things, you know, coming back to the social stuff, like one of the things we're really interested in is embracing the way, like, I don't know, a lot of people do kind of click up in crypto, right? Like, especially when you're a noob, like you kind of often come at the space like with friends and you navigate it together. So we're really interested, Rainbow is in creating experiences that embrace that. So something we've been planning for a long time is creating these financial games. So for example, we have this concept for a game that we've been designing, but we've been really waiting for layer 2 solutions to come out. So basically it's a game so it gamifies leverage trading. So the way it works is
what could
it's
possibly
really
go
cool.
wrong?
Well, so the way it works is everybody deposits $100, and you can't deposit more than that. It's like $100,
Yeah.
and that $100 becomes your score on the leaderboard. And basically, you're given, when you take a move, right, which is basically a long or short, it trades your whole stack, and basically, so then because everyone's score on the leaderboard is real money, and because everyone started at the same score, it's like really easy to kind of like uh, conceptualize your skill, right? So
Yeah.
basically, if someone is like really great, they'll be at the top. If you're really bad, you're at the bottom. But basically, yeah, and like the positions will like auto close after 24 hours. So it creates this like so the idea behind gamifying these financial concepts though is that we think that DeFi specifically is one of the most amazing ways to learn about finance. So like regular people, they can like look up what a perpetual swap is on Investopedia, and they can be like, oh, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But they don't actually understand how to use these things. And we think that kind of low stakes games are actually one of the best ways to learn these things and to like, for example, like playing financial games with like fake money, like if the game was to just give you a whole bunch of points, people lose interest in that really quickly. You kind of have to have some skin in the game for people to stay engaged.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense. You really
yeah, I
want to
mean,
see like, and for good or bad, Robinhood has perfected this, and it's like
yeah,
celebrating. Oh, you bought calls, or
yeah.
like you closed out a trade in profit.
Robinhood could be so much more fun, and I think that like in a lot of ways they're afraid to embrace like truly gamifying it. And Rainbow is not afraid to do that. We're
Yeah.
very willing to go that route. We
Believe
still have some more like foundations to build in the product, but we're definitely going to get there this year. So it's really exciting.
leave me with what are you most excited about in terms of one, what's next for Rainbow, and number two,
Mm,
what's next for the broader ecosystem, like where you see things going out completely outside of the price realm, which obviously this podcast tends to focus on.
yeah. Most exciting stuff for Rainbow is going to be honestly getting retail people to become Uniswap LPs, right? I think that if you go to uniswap.info and you see the returns on even just a stablecoin ETH pair, that blows people's minds. Like compared to the savings accounts, the yield that you get on in a traditional, from like a savings account, for example, like, or even just the USDC to DAI pool, that yields like 10% a year. That's nuts, right? So successfully onboarding regular people into these new financial products is what I'm most excited about at Rainbow. And also like making them have fun with it and kind of like trying to suck them into this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's our goal. As far as the broader space, um, you know, uh, let me think. Yeah, like layer twos, huge. Like very excited about layer twos dropping this year. I think that in general, I'm excited about different ways of using tokens. So I don't know if you followed some of these things, but like some people have been experimenting with tokenizing Discord channels, for example. So you can use tokens almost as permissions in a Discord channel, which I think is a great idea. So basically, different ways of using tokens. For example, like tokens almost as a software license, things like that. Imagine like I don't know if you're familiar with like Unisocks, but for example, if you had, say you're distributing.
Spoiling my last question because I was going to ask you, how much is a pair of Unisocks today?
Oh, it's all over the place. I mean, last night they were $12,000. Today they're like $8,000. I think. I don't know.
It's a little bit
like
volatile.
The same. Yeah, but like imagine I have some friends who make like sneaker bots, right? They're like the bots that like snipe sneakers when they drop online, and they sell these bots, to people, and they only sell a limited amount of them. Well, to me, it's like, oh, okay, like you should sell the license key the same way you would sell Unisocks, right? Like if you're only selling a limited number of licenses, you should let the market forces decide what they're worth. Like selling them all at a fixed rate seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. Bringing open markets to limited edition stuff is awesome to me. And
it's so awesome.
And I like the bridge as well between like the NFT concept and the in real life items.
Yeah.
So like for artists, I think it's really cool. And it's like, here's the NFT is like your certificate of ownership and also a history of transfer to know the entire history of this piece of physical art. I think that tying those types of things together are really cool. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely check out, if people are into this kind of stuff, check out Zora and Foundation are two companies basically, running with this exact concept. And I'm really into what they're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also everyone should check out Unisocks, guys.
Yeah.
Be a part of history.
Get yourself some Unisocks. They're only the size of a used Honda, the price of a used Honda Civic.
Hey man, be a part of history. There's only 315 left. Uniswap's on track to take over the world.
Awesome. Mike, thanks for joining me. If people want to download and try Rainbow, they can just go to rainbow.me or look for it in your app store. It's on iOS. It's also on Android, right?
Yeah, we have an Android beta. If you go to rainbow.me, you can enter your email address, specifically the email that's associated with your Google Play account.
Okay.
And if you do that, we invite hundreds of people every week. But yeah, if you go to the iOS App Store and you type in Rainbow Wallet, it'll show up. But
Sweet.
Yeah, going to rainbow.me is definitely the way to go. It's a pretty fun website. Follow us on Twitter.
This is the most fun I've had with the crypto wallet, that's for sure. And I love that.
Thanks, man.
And I haven't gotten to this part yet, like I said, trying to convince myself, but with my IRA or like any of those types of things, I use it on my phone. So I need a trading account too. And I know our sponsor, Matcha.
We're working on it.
Yeah. So if y'all want to try Matcha, you can go to letterstatus.com/Matcha. You can actually connect your Rainbow wallet with Matcha all on your phone. If that's your jam, of course, you can also do it on desktop. It's really a great pairing between, making the user interface forefront as a part of the experience. So, Mike, I appreciate you being here. I hope everybody gives Rainbow a shot. Buy some Unisocks, and we will catch y'all next time. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time listening, we're just getting started, trying to kick off as many interviews as we can. So stay tuned. We'll catch you next time.
Just run dry in a house of cards. I feel the breeze wound so tight.